guys, I have sat where you're sitting. It's more fun to be down here. But just, you're among friends, and so just be at ease as much as it's possible under these circumstances. As Sean said, we will begin with just a up to 3 minute statement of opening remarks on just whatever you want to say pertaining to your candidacy for the Commissioner Precinct 2. And so we'll just begin with number 1. It's Jay Gentry.
Good evening. I'm Jay Gentry. I've been in Eastland County now. This is my 10th year. I've always been impressed with politics and the political realm of what Eastland County runs on, and the how-to, the where-to, and the fortitude of where we need to go. I'm proud of what's happened in the past. I think we've got some things that can take this county to a greater level and get Precinct 2 in Eastland County where it'll prosper. We've got road maintenance that, you know, a lot of people are seem to be upset about. They want to have something done. The ditches, we've got to get that taken care of, especially in Precinct 2 in the outlying areas. We've got to blade the roads. We've got to put rock on the road, throw it in. We've got to get where we don't flood. We have terrible drinking water concerns coming out of our water plant here. That's been on my mind for a long time. We live close to the water plant, so every time something goes wrong, you know, we get shocked with what comes out while you're in the shower. Your drinking water's contaminated with something, and so the water concerns of Precinct 2, Ranger, all of the water in Eastland County needs help. We've got to get in there and figure out what we can do to make our water the best water around. We've got the Lake Leon, the dam issue. We have flooding. I've seen it flood at least 7 times since I've been here. We've got ways to tackle this. We need to come up with a plan that'll work, a plan that's feasible for everybody. And it's sad to see somebody's house flood over and over again. I've helped friends out there take their stuff in and out, and it's not a good thing to see. We can do better at that. The property tax, everybody's upset about the taxes and appraisals and the way things go back and forth. We can get that all into realm where we can understand it and deal with it. We've got to make this county prosper. In order to do so, we've got to have increase in homes being built. We've got to have construction, new construction, things going on. We seem like we're at a dead stop right now. To me, we ought to be, if our budget's around $11 million, we ought to have at least that or more in new homes being built every year in the county. So we've got to create an economic development for Precinct 2 and Eastland County at the same time. We've got 3 airports now in the county. We've got all kinds of opportunity to bring in big business, to bring in things to
Go ahead and finish your sentence.
With the 3 airports, we ought to be able to bring in business and make the whole county prosper.
Thank you, Mr. Gentry. Okay, Mr. Tipton.
You know, I'm Wendell Tipton. I was born in Ballinger in Reynolds County. Mom and Daddy, W.C. Tipton, and Mama moved to Ranger in 1958. So Ranger is my home. I graduated from Ranger High School, graduated from Ranger College. I have an applied science degree in welding. You know, then in 2006, I received a certificate of completion in computer school skills. You know, 1997, I graduated from the Tarleton State University Police Academy, where I challenged the state test for law enforcement, and I passed it and everything. You know, I hold my Master Peace Officer certificate. I have received my jailer's license in 2006. You know, in 2010, 12, and 14, I was a delegate to the state convention for Eastland County. 2016, I was an alternate for the county. As elected this year county commissioner, I'll be responsible for representing y'all, the taxpayers of Eastland County. Anyway, all my concerns, I'll be more than happy to listen to what y'all have to say. If y'all have some ideas, we'll come up and we'll talk about them, discuss them, and see how they would fit into the Eastland County to make it better, you know. I'll be taking care of your hard-earned tax dollars is our number one goal, you know, everything. To operate at a productive level in best interest of the taxpayers. I will work hard to set a budget for the county that is effective and efficient and will benefit the taxpayers. That's the main goal, is to benefit the taxpayers. The budget for 2010 was $6,539,799, and the budget for 2014 was $8,60522. You know, that's an increase in a 4-year period of $1,525,423 in a 4-year period. You know, if elected as your county commissioner, I'll be responsible for upgrading the roads, so you'll have a safe and easier access to your homes. I'd like to see the roads graded or maintained year-round.
Time's up, Mr. Tipton.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Golke?
Well, first of all, I gotta turn this on. Can you hear it? Okay, it's just not, I can't hear it.
Let's get a little closer to you now.
How about right there? All right. My name's Martin Golke. Our family moved to Ranger in 1960. My dad set up a medical practice in Ranger, and he practiced there for 42 years until he passed away in 2014. Myself and my sisters grew up in Ranger, went to school there. I ended up going to ACU on a, believe it or not, a basketball scholarship. And I met my wife there, and then we came back to Ranger, and we raised our children, 3 boys, and they attended the Ranger schools, and we've always had a really great town in Ranger. When we were growing up, it's sad to see what it has become today. When we were growing up, it was very up to date. Had a lot of businesses there, and I agree with Jay that, you know, a lot of our infrastructure and stuff in these towns is deteriorating. You know, we need to think about how we're going to take care of those buildings and take care of the infrastructure of our county. We also need to think about our budget. We have a humongous budget, and it's not going to go away. We're going to need to do a lot of planning. We're going to need to make some hard decisions on what we need to do to get it in line. There's many reasons why it has gotten out of hand, and I would like to talk about that later in the program. But it's tough when you've got that much indebtedness, and you're trying to find something to do with it, where to move it, where to use it the best. So that's one thing that I would like to do if elected, is to really bear down on the budget and make some changes.
Thank you, Mr. Golke. Okay, Mr. Marks.
Good evening. My name is Jason Marks. I've been a resident of Eastland County for 12 years. I have a beautiful wife, Brittany, 2 little boys, Tucker and Gavin, that both attend Eastland ISD. I'm the owner and operator of JM Welding and Aluminum Trailer Repair in Eastland. I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you knew there was a 46% increase in our budget from 2013 to 2017? Many of you know that? That's something we really got to get under control. There's a lot of understaffed, unmandated, unfunded programs that we have in this state that they make us do, that our county has to fix. The fiscal year budget this year was $8.7 million. When I become elected your county commissioner, those numbers on a piece of paper are not just numbers. Those are your hard-earned tax-paying dollars that need to be reinvested into this county as the best possible way we can, and they need to be reinvested so this county can thrive, become a safer county, and get more productivity out of it. There's a lot of gaps and there's a lot of area that we can cover, that there's a lot of things we can fix. I've got 15 years of business experience. I have to do budgets every day. I have to maintain payroll every day. I have to make sure taxes are paid every day. My business experience that I can bring to Eastland County and to County Commissioner to help this county grow is one of my largest assets, next to being the best father that I can be. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. Mr. Griffin.
Hello, folks. Excuse me for not taking my hat off, but you would appreciate it if I didn't. So y'all wouldn't be able to see. But I graduated Hico High School in 1982 and attended Charleston State for a short time. After that, I went to work for Erath County, Precinct 3 in 1986. I worked for them for 20 years. And when I left there in 2006, I went to Arlington. And in 2007, I went to work for the city of Fort Worth as a transportation and public works. Let me back up. When I was at Steamville, I served on the school board at Iredell ISD and was on the fire department there for 16 years. Then I went to Fort Worth or Arlington, worked for the city for 7 years. And in 2014, my wife Stephanie and I decided we had an empty nest and it was time to move. So I come back home. And we bought a place out of Desdemona and joined the fire department there. And I went to work for Eastland County, Precinct 3, which is in Rising Star. Been there for the past 3 years. And I've been doing this my whole life as far as building roads. I know how to build roads. As they said earlier, these roads need some attention around here. And I believe I'm the right man for the job. As far as the budget, it's complicated. The state has so much say now to where our tax dollar goes. It doesn't leave very much to work with. So, but if elected as your commissioner, I would listen to y'all. We could, listen to y'all's concerns, and we could surely work out something. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, just to begin our general questioning now. Our first question, and we'll go in the order as we agreed at the beginning. Number one, Mr. Gentry will be the first to answer, and then we'll just come across. First question is, what do you understand the duties of a county commissioner to be? Mr. Gentry.
As a county commissioner, we're liable for the budgets, we're liable for the meetings, we're liable for the people, the money, the taxes that come into the county, the roads and the bridges. We're liable for economic development, safety, security of this county. We've got to come together, as I said, about the water and the things of this sort. You know, we've all got to have these things to live, and we've got to have them working properly. And as a county commissioner and understanding what we need to do, we've got to take this job serious. Thank you.
As a county commissioner, we're tasked with a bunch of different things. We have to work with the local governments, we have to work with the state governments, we have to work with the federal governments, and all, everything. Then we come in there and we have to set our budgets, that we get from the taxpayers, and try to balance it, We have a lot of different type of deals we have to get, like we have to furnish fire departments for the rural areas. We have to have medical for the rural areas and everything. So that way we contract with the different fire departments and the EMS services around the county and everything for ours, rather than just trying to have one central ambulance service or fire department or whatever, The other things we got to do is to keep maintenance of roads, up, to help keep everything where it'd be safe to get home and leave home, go to work or wherever, everything. Then as far as setting the budgets and all, and just sort of deciding what we need and everything else on the set the tax rates, for the county and everything, Thank you.
Well, there are a lot of different things that county commissioner has to think about and has to do. There's been several of them mentioned here already. It's amazing. I looked at some literature off the internet about how many different jobs a county commissioner is responsible for. It was more than you could ever imagine, but they all link together to help the whole. Everything that they did made a difference to items that needed to be taken care of. I think one of the biggest duties is going to be the budget, and like I said earlier, it is a problem right now, and I would like to see us take hold of that and get it fixed so we can enjoy a little bit of I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's. We all need to work together to get this done, and I'm going to be the first one to say let's go when that time comes. Thank you.
The duties of a county commissioner are, first, you got to have a maintenance plan in place. We can't just go, today I think we're going to go to 340, tomorrow I think we're going to go to 491. It's not going to work that way. That's why we're in the position we are in. We're going to have to put a plan in place. And the commissioner's court is set up of 4 commissioners and a presiding judge, because 5 ideas turn into one great idea. And that's what we need to work on more. We need change. We need adaptability, and we need things that are better going to benefit this county. As the county commissioner, that's what your job is to do, is to make sure all your road hands and all your material is at the right place at the right time, so everything is maintained, along with the budget, along with the staff, along with every elected county official in this county. The county commissioners get to set all that budget. They have a lot of responsibility. They have control of $8.7 million this fiscal year, plus $11.2 million worth of CDs that they have to agree on to keep reinvesting for this county. They have a very big responsibility, and that's something you need to think about when you cast your vote to make sure that right man is in there for you.
As the county commissioner, you have lots of jobs. You've got to deal with every office in the courthouse. You got the sheriff's department. It's not just one person. And the public, you have to listen to the public, take their input. The roads, I think, in precinct 2 are, they do need a lot of attention, but there's other things that you're going to have to do too. They need to try to work and bring new growth to Eastland County. And once we get those new stores or whatever, the public needs to support them to help bring in revenue for the county.
Thank you, sir. Okay, question number 2, we'll go first to Mr. Tipton. When it comes to the taxpayers' money, do you consider yourself a liberal, a moderate, or a conservative?
Well, really, I consider myself, because part of that money is my money, and I hate to get rid of it, and everything, because it's kind of hard to go up there to pay taxes every year and everything. But I'd like to make it to where the least amount of budget so we can lower the tax rate, keep it down low and everything is what we're going to have to start doing and everything, rather than raising it, whether we're hiring too many people or what and everything. We just need to find ways to cut the biggest thing it takes the budget and everything on that. Cut where we can and keep everything going and all. Anyway.
I consider myself to be a conservative in most every aspect of my life. And I like the conservative stance, and I hope that excuse me. My parents were conservative. My grandfather and grandmother were conservative. We've raised our children to be conservative. Evidently, they didn't raise me to be a very good public speaker. Yeah, that's the way I live my life. It's conservative. I'll be conservative with your tax money. I'll be conservative with handling any aspect of the courtroom, any aspect of the duties of commissioners, in everything that I do. Thank you.
I am a conservative. As a business owner, you have to be conservative. You never know when the next job's going to walk through that door. You never know when that next business is going to come into town and help offset this deficit. if you're not conservative and you start blowing and going and there's no end in sight, you're going to go broke. Your company is going to fail. When you're the county commissioner, you are the boss of this county, of this area, of this business. The Eastland County is a business, and it has different districts, and the person ahead of those needs to have the foresight of where it needs to go and how to be conservative just to make that money last and to make that money very beneficial.
I believe myself to be a conservative also. My grandpa grew up in the Depression. I think when he passed away, he had the first dollar he ever had. But my mom and dad were the same way, and you learn to save money. If you're raised in the country, it's just, you couldn't just run to the store or whatever anytime you wanted to. But yeah, as far as the taxpayers' dollars, we need to spend them wisely. Really think about things before we do them.
I'm a strong conservative. We've got to manage what we take in. We've got, at the end of the day, we've got to have more than we put out. We've got to save. We've got to budget. We've got to manage our money. We've got to manage the county in a way that we can still prosper and we can bring in good things and good companies to come here. But at the same time, we can't spend more on any aspect of the job of county commissioner than the money we take in, the money we budget. We've got to stay strong. We've got to stay a hold of the money and spend it wisely. And in doing so, we can make this county grow, we can prosper. Ranger, Desdemona, all of Precinct 2. There's a history, and history comes around to repeat itself. We need to see that history grow back into Ranger, Desdemona, Olden. All of Precinct 2 needs to prosper.
Okay, thank you. Okay, question number 3. Mr. Golke will be the first respondent. Do you believe the county government is currently doing the right thing financially on behalf of the taxpayer? Why or why not? Goes up and down there. If you need the question repeated, we'll feel free to ask.
Yeah, I believe that right now there's a lot going on with the budget. There have been a lot of mandates brought into our courthouse from the legislature, and of course they'll fund those mandates up to a certain amount, but then the courthouse has to make up the difference for what those mandates did not pay for. There have been several of those the last few years. I know last year that all the precincts took a cut in pay. They slashed their budgets, I should say, not them personally, but they slashed their budgets so they could get expenditures under control. It's difficult in a setting like this where you have so many people that are involved, and all your employees, from those that are doing janitorial work to those that are sitting on the bench. Everybody has a part, and we hate to start having to cut those, to cut out those things that really will hurt someone or will keep them from maybe doing their job as well. So I think they're doing the best they can with what they're working on right now.
Do you believe the county government is